Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I hope that you guys are doing wonderful on this February 1st evening, or whenever you're watching this video, because I understand that these kind of videos may be watched at a different time, but they're still relevant. Today we're going to be doing a pick a card style reading. So, hopefully, you have an issue or some type of situation scenario on your mind that you'd like some clarity on, and hopefully this can help to give you some of that clarity. So welcome. Please hit the like button if this is your kind of thing, and I appreciate you for spending some time with me here. Cooley High, peace. G Baby Martinez, peace and greetings. Enchanted Cottage 333, always good to see you. Look, I'm gonna give you another shout out. If you guys want some detailed, accurate, and straight to the point tarot readings with a lot of wonderful personality, check out Enchanted Cottage 333 right here in the chat. I catch her readings almost every time she posts, but especially when it's about Gemini. Hope you're having a good evening. Dub VT, peace, brother. Hope you're having a good night. Xander Promeo, peace, peace. Matthew Watson, peace, bro. Matthew Watson says, I sensed it in the force. Yeah, man. This was actually supposed to happen a couple of hours ago, but I got sidetracked with some foolishness. Lots of foolishness. You want to know what 1 hour of that foolishness was? I found this game on Steam about it's called Revenge of the Colon, and basically you're a colonoscopy doctor, colonoscopist, is it? And you this is your last week on the job. And you start finding some patients who have some terrible things inside of them. I think at one point you have to fight an evil clown that's inside somebody's bowels causing them havoc. Yeah, I don't even know where that came from. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna do this pick a card style reading. I'm sure you've seen them before where you choose between 3 different piles. So we're gonna go ahead and set those up right now. Let's start with my traditional deck, all right? These have been pre-shuffled, but I wanna go ahead and show you again that none of this stuff is premeditated, right? What's the fun in that? All right, so let's do the first stack. Where's my camera at? That's more like it. All right, and the third card here. Peace, Ace. Good evening, good evening. Oh my word. I never really played cards, you know what I mean, with my people. Like everybody plays spades and all those other games, poker and whatnot. I never really did that, so my shuffling skills didn't really evolve with those games. To be honest, I couldn't tell you my method of shuffling, how it works, because I don't know. J Baldhail, peace. Alright, this is your second pile. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, we're gonna do 3 card readings. You just might see a 4th card up here. Alright, like I said, get your goal, your query, your situation in mind. Ace says, I was ready at 8 p.m., 5 my time. I see your February 1st strategy. glad somebody does, because I don't. These are trying times, my friend. Trying times. I keep breaking on my electronics. I think the universe is trying to tell me something here. I just lost my backup phone, so now I'm literally reduced to the bare minimum. And I was hosting this cyclomancy class February 3rd, but looks like I'm gonna have to delay a little bit so I can get some new equipment. But I'll make a post about that. So here we go. 3 decks of cards. Now I want you to choose where you stand, right? Is it gonna be dragon? Is it gonna be spider? Or is it gonna be mermaid? You choose. I'll give you a moment to fixate your magical attention and make a decision. Yes, yes. Give you just a moment to relax. Take a deep breath. Don't focus on the external events themselves, but focus on the essence of the situation. Focus your intention on the energy of the situation, and that will allow you to receive a most accurate answer. Because the thing about magic is that we're dealing with translation. All of reality is a translation of energy. The same way that the two of us can go out and see a movie, and the two of us can have different experiences. We'll have different lessons that we pull out of it, right? All sorts of things that will be translated differently. So in order to come to a common ground, it's better to try to identify the underlying essence of any situation. This is how you have better results in your magic as well. Instead of trying to do a ritual or a spell for a specific manifested thing, focus on the internal energy that having that thing or having that situation come to pass will bring to you, right? Does that make sense? And that's what I want you to do right now. All right. Some say dragon, some say mermaid, some say spider. We're gonna do these in order, one at a time. And of course, later on, you can be able to fast forward to your particular point. This doesn't just apply to February 1st. This applies to whenever you see it. So I just want to make that clear. I don't really talk about spirit guides, but I feel like there's been something in the air that is really, what's the word? Really trying to influence me to do these type of videos. Like, if you've watched my channel, you know that I never ever do tarot readings, but I don't know, something's really compelling me to do this because I feel like this might be another way of translating that essence, so to speak. Let's get to it. We're gonna start with spider. This is my trusty spider I've had for a very long time. As you can see, he's missing a leg and a half, but many spiders that you see in real life that are missing legs, those are the warriors, those are the troopers, those are the ones who survive with less. And that's how I'm having to get down right now with my computer malfunctions. So, first read. I did this kind of upside down, so the bottom card is the top card. If you pick the spider, this is what we're going to be dealing with. On one hand, we've got the Queen of Wands. Now, I'll be honest, I'm still working with reversals, so I'm just going to put it up right for now. Queen of Wands. So it looks like in this situation, we've got a certain sense of being very competent. You're doing pretty good for yourself. You are not a beginner by any means. You're someone who is established in your method. And this looks like it might be something that's a passion project. This looks like something that may be an art form. Something that you've invested a lot of energy into, and you've been doing it for a while. Hell, you might even have a natural knack at this particular thing. So it looks like I said, you're well established in it. You might not be a big name or anything like that, but you know what you're doing, and you're doing a pretty good job for yourself, right? So as it follows, it looks like you're trying to expand your horizons now. It seems like you have spent enough time doing this thing that you're really looking to stretch out, to discover new territory. You're not exactly trying to leave behind what you've built up all these years, but you certainly want to take hold of a new direction, right? So maybe you've established yourself in a certain field. This could be work, this could be a passion project. I feel like this is something that's more artistically inclined. Maybe something you've been working on with other people, some type of project, right? This could even be your spiritual journey, your studies. Maybe you've been studying in a particular area and you've gained mastery in that area, and you're ready to start studying something else. Whatever it is, you're pretty good at it. And right now you're in a time where you're trying to break out of just that and add maybe something new to your repertoire. Let me know if this applies to you, those of you who pick Spider. You might be looking to kind of just expand your repertoire and do something different. And as it stands, we've got the High Priestess. So really, you're at this cornerstone, you're at this crossroads, right? Not even a four-way crossroads. This is more like a T crossroads. You have to go left or right. There is no more going straight. Not only is there a choice that you have to make, but it's a choice where, I know before I said that you didn't want to leave behind, but it seems like this is actually a choice where, depending on which direction you go, you're gonna have to put some stuff away. I mean, I don't want to say forever, but looks like you might be looking to move in a different direction altogether. Despite what you've invested your energy and your time in all these years, your desire to start something new and to expand has put you at this T-shaped crossroad to where you have to go either left or right. And one of those directions means you have to leave this behind and do something completely new. And I think that's a little bit intimidating for you. I'm not going to say it scares you, but I'm going to say that you can recognize that you're going to be a beginner again. And it's not that you're afraid of being a beginner, you just know that there's going to be a lot of work involved. And for those of us who have invested a lot of time and energy in a particular skill, we know that it gets very easy once we are at this level of competency. So it is kind of dreadful to start as a beginner again, because that means you're going to have to be pushing through tough, muddy waters or a rocky road for quite a while. But here's the thing, we're dealing with some wands here. So again, this is passion. This is something that you have the energy to push through. This is something that you love enough. This is something that's being driven from your heart enough that you're willing to go through the difficulty of a beginner stage, right? And you know this. You're going to have to choose what direction you're going to go into. And this is a big deal, right? Just like when you started this, it was a big deal. This next endeavor is going to be a big deal as well. That's usually what you get when you're dealing with the major arcana. And in particular, this is really dealing with the subconscious mind, right? So this is something that might not be a skill that's learned. You might be looking at something that's been within you for a while. Let me put this a different way. It could be that one of these new directions that you're looking at is something that you've always wanted to do, but you've never put the time in doing it. Let me know how that resonates. One of these choices that you're looking at could be, maybe you've always wanted to dance, right? And you might be like me, you don't know anything. Right? Or maybe you always wanted to get into some type of crafting, or maybe you wanted to get into some type of I don't know, intellectual work like accounting, or doing people's taxes. I don't know. There might be something that you've always wanted to do, but you never invested the energy into it. So here's the thing. So far, this reading isn't exactly giving you an answer of what to do. It has reflected what's going on with you. You've been skilled at something. You've invested a lot of time and energy. You're kind of tired of it, slightly bored, ready for something new, and you've got some choices. One of those choices, or maybe many of those choices, means leaving this behind. And one of those choices also means doing something that's been within you for years, but you never really pursued it. Either way, this is something that's very subconscious. This is something that has been eating at you for a while, maybe even before you took notice of it. So let's pull a fourth card just to get a little bit of clarity for those of you who chose the spider. So I'm going to say Page of Cups. Listen, one of these choices you feel like you should take, but you're kind of afraid because you don't want to be a beginner. The page is all about being a beginner. And you know what the cups represent? Once again, this type of subconscious quality, this emotional quality, this intuitive quality. Follow your instincts, even though, fuck it, even though you're scared, even though you might be afraid of being a beginner again, this is probably going to be the best thing for you. Get back into what sparks that childlike, youthful enthusiasm. One of these choices you want to do, but you're scared because you don't want to be a beginner again. That's actually going to be the best choice for you, because it's going to bring out a childlike enthusiasm that you might have not felt in a very long time. And I'm starting to wonder if this reading was for me, but we're going to see. All right, so if you picked the spider as the symbol, this is your reading today. Let me know how that goes for you. Cool beans. Cool beans. I like that. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. All right, so that was the spider. Let's move on to the very next, which is the mermaid. I don't think anybody in the chat chose mermaid, but like I said, maybe somebody else watching, or maybe somebody in the future will make this as their decision. Now again, I did these upside down, so the bottom card will be the first, the middle will be the second, and the top will be the third. So here we go. Beautiful mermaid. A girl that I dated was into, what do you call this? Embroidery. And she was making a bunch of patches of mermaids. I asked her to make a black mermaid. She did. Although this one has a little bit of a error in it. I kept it because I thought it was pretty cool. So let's see what the reading is. For those of you who chose mermaid, this is how we're going to kick this off. Ooh, Four of Swords. Okay, so this isn't necessarily a bad card, but I do get the feeling that you have been overwhelmed, you've been stressed out, and you know that you've been needing to take a break, and right now you're probably actually doing that, whether by choice or by force. Right now is the time where you're pulling back, you're withdrawing, you're really just laying low. And it's nothing about being lazy. It's nothing about, anything like that. You really have a lot on your shoulders. You really have a lot going on. And either you are doing this by choice or by force. And what I mean is, you're saying to yourself, let me get off of social media for a minute. Let me stop dealing with these people for a minute. Maybe this is a work-related thing. Maybe this is hobby. Like, this could be like your friend group. Listen, I'm a little bit stressed out. I'm overwhelmed. Before I snap on anybody, right? Before I go do something that I regret, or shit, before I really make any kind of decision that just isn't me, let me take some time off. Or it could be that something that you use, right? I talked about my computers. It could be something like that that has broken down to where you have to stop, or you have to slow down. Either way, the end result here is you find yourself in a situation where you're really just laying low, chilling out, getting your rest on. And let me tell you something, in times like this, it's awkward for me because I have to repeatedly tell myself it's okay to take a break, right? Because I'm so used to going. When times like this happen, I have to continually remind myself it's okay to slow down. The world is not gonna end. Your YouTube channel ain't going nowhere, right? You're gonna be all right. You actually need this rest. So chill out, take this rest. All right. So what we have next is Page of Wands. As I said last time, the pages represent beginners. They represent people who are kind of just starting out at something. Now look, the wands typically represent energy, spirit, passion, creativity, willpower. So look, you are in a state of rest. And I'm gonna be honest, this probably applies to all of us right now. This is a very weird time, and everyone who I talk to, magical community or not, is going through this right here. But anyways, that's where we are. And what's going on the inside, in the background, on a higher level, is that it seems that you may have been starting to enter into a new phase of spirituality, a new phase of your journey, right? I know everyone here watching is someone that's into spirituality and magic and whatnot, so I'm going to say that. If you just so happen to be somebody who stumbled across this video and this is not your thing, maybe you just now entered into a phase where you've discovered something new that excites you, and you never really felt this way about this thing before. Or you never would have thought something like this could make you so excited on a spiritual level. So even though physically and not physically, mentally, right? Because we got swords here. Even though mentally you need to take a break and you need to slow down mentally because your mind is going everywhere and you need to withdraw, on the spiritual level, before this happened, you had a glimpse of something for the first time, maybe the first time in a long time. You had a glimpse of something that kind of inspired you, kind of sparked something in you. And it might be easy to forget about that if you continue to focus on the overwhelm. But perhaps just before all this came down, you caught a glimpse of something. Let me know how that resonates, those of you who picked Mermaid. So here's the deal. We're going from mental to spiritual and back to earthly. 7 of Pentacles. When we're dealing with the 7 of Pentacles, we do have a sense of emotion that can be unchecked. So it could be that this new passion, this new spark, this new thing that gave you a bit of excitement is where you're going to be headed once you're finished with your rest. However, what I'm getting here is that it might be wise to be a bit cautious. It might be a bit cautious because you may be the type of person who can be overzealous. You may be the type of person who finds something new and exciting and amazing, and you just go all in. You just give it everything, right? That could be money, that can be time, that can be energy, right? Right? And perhaps that's what made you tired in the first place. I'm just trying to connect dots here. That part might not be accurate, but perhaps that's what caused you to be so tired and overwhelmed in the first place. Finding something that made you so excited, knowing that it's going to lead you to a point in your life where you just might put a little too much work into this thing. Now, while that isn't necessarily a bad thing, Maybe this is a warning to kind of, what's the word? Pace yourself. That's the phrase. Maybe this is some advice to pace yourself. When we get exhausted, when we get overwhelmed, it's usually because we're starting to pile on more than we can handle at the time. Now, here's the thing, that's a preventable issue. That's a preventable issue. So like I said, before this overwhelm happened, you might have come across something that excited you and that planted a seed that you might be heading to once you get back on your feet. What I'm getting from this reading right now is you're going to go through your natural frequency of giving your all in this thing, but be careful that it doesn't lead you to wear yourself out again. I love that this is live because I can get some feedback, but for anybody who chose the Mermaid, let me know how that sounds to you so far. Peace, Voodoo Child 41. 101 interviews, peace. And let's do a fourth card just to kind of put this all into some perspective here. We've got the 9 of Wands, okay? So 9, if you know about Kabbalah, it's going to represent Yesod, the etheric plane, and also the realm of dreams, imagination, that which is just about to become concrete, but not quite yet. So whatever this thing is that you have glimpsed or starting to get into, right? And again, maybe my terminology might be a bit off. Maybe this isn't something you glimpsed. Maybe this is something that you started or were getting into just before the rest period. I know just before my little rest period, I started to get back into AI, but doing different things with AI. But due to all of my equipment malfunctioning, I can't do that. But I'm definitely going to be getting back into it once I get back on my feet. However, I could even see this for myself, being overzealous and maybe spending a lot of money or a lot of time trying to do something that, you know, maybe I should take in moderation or take slow, right? That's just an example for you. I don't know what your thing is because you're on the other side of the phone. But this 9 of Wands talks about how perhaps it isn't the thing itself that requires your undying investment. When I see this, remember I talked in the very beginning about finding the essence of the thing, not necessarily just the manifest, but the essence of a thing. What's the essence of this thing that got you so excited, right? What's the essence of it? Could it be that you see an opportunity here to make some money? You see an opportunity here to build a business for yourself. You see an opportunity to create a project that you know, what is the essence of it? I think that identifying the essence, because I talked about the 9 of Wands being the etheric plane and that which happens just before the manifest dimension, maybe if you take the time to analyze what got you so excited, you can avoid investing too much energy. Cool. All right. Thank you. G-Baby and Enchanted Cottage. WT says, man, the rest has to do with the choice I made from the spider, both of these readings. And it very well could be this way. Look, the pick a card thing is popular, and I'm doing it because, it's easy to make a choice and go with it. But also, that doesn't mean that one may not apply to you, or two, or all three, right? You've seen my readings. If you have, most of you guys look familiar. Shoot, all of it could apply to you. So far, it all applies to me. I'll be straight up. Let's keep going. I'm curious to see what this third one is about. Dragon. How many of you all work with spirit animals? Like for real? How many of you work with spirit animals? And if so, how many of you actually work with dragons? I know that during the cyclomancy class, one of the things that we did as a group was to have everyone create a servitor. And I know that one group in particular created a dragon. And if you're in this chat, what was the dragon for? Was the dragon for protection? I think the dragon was for protection, offense and defense. Thank you, J Baldhail. J Baldhail says, Trav, you seeing my messages about cyclomancy? I'm gonna say no, and this is why. Like I mentioned, I recently have lost my backup phone, and that was you know, how I do a lot of my email and social media stuff. So really going through a bit of a tough time here with my electronics. So what I'm actually gonna do, and I'll make a post about this, is that I'm going to extend when we do the class, so I can give myself a little bit of time to get my stuff back together. But yeah, we're still doing the class. We're not gonna let this stop that. But I think I'm gonna have to push it back just a little bit so I can get my computers and stuff back online. All right, a lot of people say that I do work with spirit animals in the astral. Absolutely, absolutely. I have a book on spirit animals. It was kind of cheesy, but I mean, it at least one chapter gave me some good insight that I haven't heard before. Gosh, that book is in my downstairs library. That's usually where I keep my books that I know that I'm not going to read anymore. But But yeah, you guys, please bear with me. This is a very frustrating time because, you know, stuff's broken. But what I am starting to understand is that this is a time for me to practice gratitude and a time for me to see the blessing in this, right? At the risk of sounding like a Christian pastor, right? I do understand that no matter what happens, life is about how you translate it, how you frame it, right? And if I continue to see this as some type of loss, as some type of handicap, then I will get more of the same. What I also understand is that from my past, even if I've had rough times, whenever I interject gratitude, that's when I'm able to really see what's to be seen, right? I mean, look, this physical material world is all about change. Nothing's gonna last forever. No matter what it is, people and relationship. I mean, even the stuff I don't talk about on, like, there's relationships that I was really, really close, right? There's been relationships that I've lost in the past month or two. But the thing is, nothing lasts forever, and it's better to appreciate what you had and what it meant to you. That's what's more important than to mourn and grieve repeatedly over and over and over for the rest of your days, because that's not going to do anything beneficial for you or for me, right? So what I'm really doing with myself is learning to find the positive in this situation, right? Because I can actually work with that. I can work with that. One of the things I found is that I had a lot of stuff that I wasn't even taking advantage of. And I made excuses, understanding now that I can do more with less. And that's what I'm going to push myself to do right now. Regardless of what I have or don't have, I'm going to push myself to do more with less. So, let's get on with this dragon reading, right? So if you guys are enjoying this content, again, hit the like button. It looks like we only have like half the likes according to how many people are here. Matthew Watson says, I have a tarot deck for spirit animals. It's fire, no lie. It taps into their elements, correlating with the different animals. Nice, nice. J. Baldhale says, no worries. I know your tech's been down. Just don't want to miss the class the second time around. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once I get back up, I think I'm going to post about it relentlessly for at least a week or two. Kind of like last time. Ace says, the only thing that is constant is change. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. G-Baby Martinez has got to show gratitude even in the inconvenient moments. Right. And that's the thing, right? It's easy to say and easy to forget. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm remembering because I did forget. All right, here's for the dragon unicorn, best friends. So here we start with the Page of Swords. A lot of pages, a page in each reading. So again, when you see this page card, this is a student. This is a beginner. This is somebody who is breaching into new territory, right? This is somebody who is full of curiosity, full of wonder. They're exploring, right? So take those words and find the essence within them. Right? This could be somebody young. This could be somebody a bit older. What matters is that there's a spirit of the student present. There's a Page of Swords. You might have gotten into something that has been mentally stimulating. So maybe you started reading a new book. Maybe you started a new, maybe you entered into college or a new type of class. There's something intellectual that has stimulated you. And you find yourself now in the place of somewhat of a beginner, or at least somebody that's very open-minded about this particular subject, right? So those of you who chose dragon, let me know where we're going so far. This is something new for you, new ground, new territory on the mental plane, and you seem to be enjoying this journey here. Voodoo Child says, I got here late, but the mermaid reading surely applies to my current situation. I'm going to go back and watch the replay. Awesome. Thank you for that. All right, Dragon. So, you're a new student at this particular thing, excited about where it's going to take you. And what follows is the Five of Wands. Now, the thing about five, if you know Kabbalah, which you should know at least a little bit from watching my channel, the five represents which sphere, which planet. And I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm sure you're going to say Mars, Gibera. So dealing with Mars and Gibera, and we just got finished talking about change, right? That is the energy of five, the pentagram. So think about the pentagram, the shape. Not just the star, but the type that's a solid, the pentagon. Imagine if you push a pentagon down a hill, it's going to roll, but it's going to be a very tumultuous roll. It's not going to be smooth. It's going to be bumpy and staggering and weird. So that's the energy of a five. It is change, but it is not smooth change. It is, hell, even if you push a star down a hill, you got a bunch of spikes bouncing and cutting and breaking a bunch of stuff. The five represents taming and pulling back energy in an effort to get a specific thing done. It's restriction in that way. It's restriction in that you are holding back so you can get something done. Now, when this type of energy of holding back to do a particular thing goes overboard, it can be considered harmful, negative, evil. That's why a lot of people are weary of Mars in their astrological chart, because usually when Mars enters a prominent space, you're going to be dealing with that same energy of something being held back to get something else done. And if it's taken to an extreme, it can be very painful. This is why it's so important to understand Kabbalah along with astrology, with tarot, because they're all three the same exact thing, just expressed through a different medium. So we got the fives, which is change that can be a bit painful. And when dealing with wands, again, we're dealing with willpower, with spirit, with energy. So it looks like being a beginner in a new subject that has stimulated you mentally, being a beginner, being a first timer, being a student, being somebody who's open-minded, stepping into new territory mentally, what you come to find is that in this space, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and it may even seem like you are having to fight for your place. It might even seem like you're fighting to hold on. It might even seem like at any moment, something can change in such a way that you could fall out of grace or not be in a beneficial spot like you were, right? So you're excited about this, but you also recognize that there are challenges here, right? That there are challenges here. So let's get this third card. Star Lion says semen retention. Yeah, I could see that. One-on-one interview says, I was just thinking that when he said holding back. I mean, hey, this applies. This applies to that. Boom. The Hermit. That applies to that too. So here we go. You've entered into a new space that mentally stimulates you, right? You're feeling the concepts and the ideas behind this thing, and you also recognize the challenges that present themselves. And these challenges are not simply a little bit of friction. These challenges mean the difference between victory or loss, right? So here we go, Hermit. You're going to have to do what the Mermaid card did. You're going to have to go into meditation. You're going to have to take time away from everyone else and everything else. You're going to have to actually separate yourself from whatever the opponent is, from whatever this challenge is. It's not running away. It's not being afraid. You know that for you to be able to continue to excel in this mental space as a student, you're going to have to make a wise decision and separate yourself. All right? You're going to have to, in order to continue being that open-minded student, right? And look at the difference here. An open-minded student versus the hermit, versus the wise old hermit. Now, the journey in between is a battle. In between being the new student and being the hermit, there's a fight. There's a fight. You've got to stand your ground. And it looks like the best way to do this is to separate yourself from the influences that does not serve your purpose. You're gonna have to go within. You're gonna have to use your inner light to guide your way, not the outer light. Because whatever it is that has mentally aroused you, that has mentally got you on track to start exploring, you're gonna have to seek the inner light. Because the outer light, see these wands is the fire element. This outer light, if you follow that, you're gonna be in competition. You're gonna be fighting if you follow that outer light, wands, fire. But if you follow this inner light of the hermit, this is gonna get you to where you need to go. The inner light. Does anybody know what astrological sign the hermit represents? Because you know each of the major arcana represents an astrological sign, a planet, or an element. Which of the astrological signs does the hermit represent? Does anybody know? It represents Virgo, and the sign of Virgo is an earth element, and it is all about analysis and study. It's ruled by Mercury. So we are talking about inner change. Virgo, the Hermit card, also represents the intestines, and that is the secret place of transformation on the human body. That's the secret place of transformation. That's where things are changing behind the scenes. It's going from food to nutrition or excrement, right? So this is your process, your part in life where you are going behind the scenes into the dark to process, and to really digest what's happening on the outside so that you can separate the shit from what is useful. So you can separate the shit from what is beneficial and nutritious. And it wouldn't be fair if we did not pull a fourth card, so let's see what this fourth card has to say. Page of Wands. We have pulled all the pages, have we not? No, we didn't do Page of Pentacles. But there's a lot of page energy in today's readings. And like I said, this is about newness. This is about freshness. This is about beginner, right? This is about being open-minded and stepping into new territory. So this whole thing is about stepping into a new mental territory, but also behind the scenes, you're stepping into a new spiritual territory, a new energetic territory. You're embarking upon a new aspect of your own willpower, right? What this whole thing is, it's not even a battle against other people, and you're really not even secluding against other people, right? This is all about what you think is yourself, your ego. You're having to separate from those toxic portions of the self, right? Because again, remember I said the Hermit represents Virgo. It also represents the intestines. You're having to separate from those toxic portions of the self, because that's what you're at war with. That's what you're battling. That's what you're attempting to change from. So we've got this Page of Wands. The process and the result of that process is going to bring you into a state where you become renewed. We're thinking of the phoenix here. Wands, fire energy. Think phoenix. I mean, you can think salamander. That's why you see all those lizards here. The salamander is the spirit animal of the fire element. And these rejuvenate themselves within fire. They live within the fire. They are fire lizards. So this new type of passion that you're going to discover from this whole processing is going to give you a new fire for life, right? As if this wasn't enough, you continue the process and you're going to get even more energy, even more willpower from this. Let me know how that sounds for you. I like doing these. I like the unpredictable nature. Let me know how it sounds. Now that one, I don't think applied to me so much, but the first two definitely applied to me. Cool. So we did 3 readings. One of them might have fit. Elements of each one may have fit. I enjoy doing these. I think they're pretty cool. I guess we could wrap it up now, unless someone who is a member of the channel would like a specific reading for themselves. I'll do a reading for channel members here if anybody has a request. If not, I'm gonna jump back on Power World. Is anybody playing Power World? Have you heard of that? Apparently that's a game that's taken the nation by storm. They've got like, I don't know, several million new accounts made. I usually stay away from trends, but I don't know. Fortnite came out with their Lego version, which is pretty much a survival type of Minecraft kind of thing. I never played Minecraft, but I was playing the little Fortnite Lego. That's where you build your little base and you collect food and resources and you explore, and that was all right. But after a while, I kind of got bored with it. And then, you know, my son comes over here and he's playing Pokemon all the time on his Switch. I got him a Switch, I got him Pokemon, and he's loving it, right? He's catching everything, After 151, that was my cue out, right? I was here for Pokemon Red and Blue, maybe Green. But after that, hell no. I think he was telling me there's like 1,000 Pokemon now. I ain't got time for it. But anyways, the reason I bring that up is because this whole little Pal World thing, it's a new game. It not only takes what I enjoyed about Lego Fortnite, where you can build your little base and you can go out and you can forage and collect materials and upgrade your stuff and get new weapons or whatever, but it also has the Pokemon element. So not only are you building your base, but you're also catching these wild creatures and, you know, going to battle and fighting in dungeons. I think it's pretty cool. I'll probably get bored with it after a while, but right now I think it's pretty neat. Is anybody else playing that game? G Baby Martinez says bootleg Pokemon. yeah, you know, you can say that. I like it though. I like it. I think right now I'm level 18 maybe. I was a little frustrated at the lack of instructions of what to do, but in the end I appreciated it because that forced me to kind of figure it out on my own. I like that. Nefrayu says, is it on PlayStation? I don't think so. I think it's just Windows. So it's on Xbox and it's on like Steam and maybe one of the cloud gaming sites. WVT says, I heard about it, but this reading just confirmed something for me. Hashtag Charmander. Ah, yeah, the salamander. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Nice, nice. So let me know what y'all want to do. If anybody wants a reading, we'll do that. If not, we'll keep it moving. All right, we'll go with Ace. We'll go with Ace. So Ace, consider your situation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you an Aries? More27 says, as much as I love the mechanics of the game, I can't play. The blatant slavery was too much. Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. So you don't just catch these creatures. You have to, well, you also put them to work on your farm, whether that's growing food or creating items. These beasts are beasts of labor. Or I should say beasts of burden. Sunshine Chick, peace, peace. More27 says, working that palace is cool, but you can catch people on the game. What? So I can catch those annoying ass guards? Oh, you done changed the game for me. Hell yeah. All right. So, Ace, think about your situation. Right now I'm just working with 3 decks. I have like 6, but one of them I don't want to show, but the other one I haven't opened yet. That's my Robin Wood deck. If you've ever heard of the Robin Wood deck, that's a pretty interesting one. I mean, it's just not too different from the Rider White, but Robin Wood, I have her book that has some very nice interpretations of the cards, and she put a lot into the artwork to make sure that every single thing that she drew was symbolically accurate from what she learned, versus other decks where people just kind of draw pretty pictures, right? But for now, we've got the Unicorn deck, we've got the Modern Witch deck, and the traditional deck. So let me know which one you want. Oh, right. Cancer, Aries, Cancer. Okay. Let me know which one you want, and we will get this thing underway. Peace, Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith says been seeing 222777 and 69. You know what that means. Ooh, what do we have here? You walking away from something. Leaving something behind. And to be honest, I don't know if you feel like that's the right choice. See? Took too long. The reading done started already. Walking away from something. And you're not sure that it's the right choice. You're leaving something behind. And I'm not so sure that you feel good about it. So let's continue with it. Three of Hearts. So not only is this thing that you're walking away from something that has caused a bit of uncertainty as to whether or not you're making the right choice, I think it's very clear that the impetus, the core of this, is some type of emotional pain, right? We're dealing with something that has manifested mentally, that has caused you a little bit of pain. And because of that, you're choosing to walk away from whatever the situation might be. And even though that's a natural reaction, it doesn't seem like you fully trust this choice. It doesn't seem like you fully agree with what's happening here. So, and again, like I said, I'm not doing reverse readings just yet, but I will in the future. So we got the Six of Pentacles here. Now, even though there is a walking away from quite a few different choices that might have been caused by some type of mental turbulence that has in turn caused emotional turbulence. Because of that, you're walking away from these different things. What we find as a result here is stepping into a state of harmony on the material plane. Now, this is very emotional. The walking away process is because of emotions, right? It's because of feelings, something that it can't be explained with words like that. That's just how it is. But we can say that it stems from something mental, from some type of conversation, some type of thought process, something that's been happening in the mental plane, right? So we got these two different planes. The end result is on the physical plane. There will be harmony and balance from this. So like I said, there might be an uncertainty of you walking away. You might not think that this may be the right idea, wrong idea, but you're still doing it. And we're seeing that the origin of this thing is mental. The end result will be physical. Sense of harmony, sense of balance, a sense of being able to hold things together, but also have a sense of abundance with it. Let me know how that feels. Peace, cosmic flow. Ace says, LOL, I'm walking away from a lot of old habits. Yeah. Ace says, yes, all the woes of the past few years, letting it all go deep down. But my dreams have been full of people I know every night. I know it's symbolic. Yes, very accurate. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's pull a fourth card, shall we? We got the Four of Wands. So right here, this is really cool because you've got the complete elemental set. From cups to swords to pentacles to wands. There's a harmony with all of this, right? Now, even though this doesn't have any of the major arcana, I think that because all of the elements are present one at a time, this shows that this is something that's kind of major. So with the Four of Wands, we are now dealing with a level of stability. Before I said that the fives are a representative of change that may not be smooth or pleasant or comfortable. 4 represents a sense of stability. With the 5s, I said imagine pushing a pentagram down a hill. And look at how the spikes dig into the earth with every rotation. Well, the 4s, we can represent a square, and a square is very solid. Yes, you can push it down a hill, but for the most part, it's going to stay solid and sturdy in place. So this is on the spiritual realm. This is on the energetic realm, the passionate realm, the willpower realm. So even though this walking away from previous things had an emotional origin, that emotional origin stemmed from thoughts that you were having. Now, the thing is, the walking away is going to result in the physical plane, you coming to a state of harmony and balance, and even a bit of abundance, where you're able to even give to others, right? And above, behind, and throughout it all, you're dealing with a spiritual stability. So it very well may have been that because you started a certain aspect of your spiritual journey, right? Maybe you got into something recently, or who knows, but this is a very spiritual thing. And this is what inspires all of this. And this is what keeps you sustained. This is what keeps your fires lit, so to speak. Nice. Ace says, yay, I'm working on a serious new level that encompasses everything, the whole essence of how I see my life and how I've chosen 4 as a number 2. Interesting. I like that. That's cool. That's good. Good stuff. All right, everybody. It is a late night reading. Like I mentioned, I wanted to do this earlier, but I got a bit sidetracked by the colonoscopy video game. And other things too. But I am glad that this reading was able to help a few people come to some conclusions. And okay, your message wasn't finished. I've chosen 4 as a number to study and develop my own symbology of the number. Right on. Alright, I'm going to try to do this at least once a week. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can do it again, but we're going to try to do this at least once a week. Wow, it is 234. Absolutely. 234. Fantastic. All right, I'm getting to my pal world. Listen, like I said, I will make a post about it later, for sure. My technology is really giving me a moment of gratitude here, so I can appreciate what I do have remaining. In other words, major technical difficulties. Lost my computer, lost my microphone, lost my main phone, and now I lost my backup phone. So I'm really having to work with what I've got, appreciate what I've got. I'm saying all this to say, as far as the videos, me getting and response back to people who are messaging me, and most importantly, the cyclomancy course, which I had planned on starting in a couple of days. I'm gonna push it back just a little bit so I can get my stuff together. Please bear with me if you're interested in the cyclomancy class. We are still doing it. I'm just gonna have to push it back just a little bit so I can get a new computer so that we can get back onto these calls and get this information transmitted. All right. So I appreciate you all spending your time here with me. Jalen Smith says it's 11:34 in LA. Cosmic Flow says it's 12:34 in Colorado. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ghost Up says, I'm all over the country, but right now I'm in Dallas, Texas. It's 1:35. Yeah, it's late, but hey, there's always the replay, right? We'll do this again. We'll do this again. If my son comes over this weekend, maybe not, but if he doesn't, then we might do this on Sunday. But yeah, bear with me as I go through this obnoxious time period. We'll figure it out no matter what happens. I appreciate you all. And I think this is my exit. I'll leave some timestamps for those of you who might have missed the earlier readings. But that's that. That's that. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I appreciate you. I love you. Stay focused.